Hi guys, this is Raquel with paintsandglitter.blogspot.com, and I'm just filming a short video showing a little project I was working on today using Spellbinders dies. I am new to Spellbinders because I've always just used my Cricut, but recently I ran into some dies that I purchased because I needed a new embossing machine. And I found the Spellbinders Platinum 6, machine, at a good price, so I went ahead and picked that up. So one thing led to another, and I ended up, because of having the Spellbinders embossing and die cutting machine, I ended up picking up some dies, and anyway. This is what I came up with, inspired by Olga, who's on YouTube, and she's just an amazing artist. So I've watched a few of her videos and just was very inspired to go ahead and use the dies in a way that I like to make projects, which is I like to make miniatures. I like things that have very small detail, and I figured, you know what, even if it takes me a little longer, if it's something that I'm happy producing, then that's what I'm going to go with. So this will end up being a gift, but in any case, this I aside from Spellbinders dies, I also purchased some dies on the internet from AliExpress. One of them was this particular die here. Again, because I was new to the whole die, I wanted to order some on the internet before I splurged on the Spellbinders, because those are much more expensive. They add up, and I didn't want to spend the money if I didn't like them or thought that I wouldn't use them. So anyway, I ended up getting this one, and I saw it on a card. I saw it used on a card, and I really thought that I would like that, just because it seemed like it was a really cool corner die for a card. But when I ran it through, or when I went to run it through a card through the Spellbinders machine, I realized that it's the machine's only that I have is only 6 inches wide, so it wasn't wide enough for me to make the kind of card that I wanted to make. But in any event, I figured there's other uses, and one of them would be the topper of a tag. So I used it there. And this was just white cardstock, and what I did was I used Distress inks from Ranger. I have a few different colors, but one of them was, sorry if this isn't focusing, I don't think it will. Let's see here. Nope, it's not going to focus, it doesn't look like it. So anyway, this is Fossilized Amber. I have some other different greens on there, and I'll probably just list them on my blog. So the background was distressed with that, and as you can tell on my hands, I also used gesso. And then this label here with the scallops was made with, let's see here, Spellbinders Classic Scalloped Rectangles, and I got these for $4.99 at Tuesday Morning. So apparently they're normally $19.99, which I suppose, I don't know if that's a decent price or not, because again, I'm not too familiar with that, but I'm glad that I only paid $4.99, because I can't imagine. I'm so used to the Cricut that, you know, it's fairly inexpensive to use the Cricut, in my opinion, for the number of images that you're able to use for dies. So I used, again, that scallop rectangle, and I'm sorry for rambling. I believe it was the second to largest there. because this is a 4 by 6.5 inch tag. And then I used this pretty garland. That one, was that Spellbinders? That was, yes, it is. Spellbinder Shapeabilities, Laurel and Bee. So I used the Laurel, but I just flipped it upside down, which I think that's fine. I mean, it is supposed to be used in that direction, but I used it as if it was a trellis with hanging flowers. And then I really like the flower image in the middle there. Oh, and I used that set, I'm sorry, the Laurel and Bee, of course I used it for the bee. And then I distressed the edges. I inked that bee. This was all done with white paper. I inked the bee, I distressed the edges with Tim Holtz Vintage Photo, and then I added glossy accents and Martha Stewart, let's see here. Apologize for my camera, I don't know why it's not focusing. Crystal Fine Glitter is what I used on top of the glossy accents, and that's also in the middle of the Laurel's bow. And I'm hoping that this is going to focus at some point. So back to the flower. The flower, I used the Spellbinders Shapeabilities Medallion 8. It's my first time even using that. I got that for $2.99. So what it does is, one of them, this medallion, the smaller one, it only cuts the image in the center, but it only embosses the one on the outside, which I didn't know. But what I did was I cut it out, and then I took the image, part of it, and I fussy cut around it to make what I thought would look like a sunflower. I also distressed that with inks, and I molded or shaped the edges of the petals, and then I cut that same image with from the label, that scallop label, so that way it would I left the entire image. So that's basically the same image twice. I just fussy cut one of them. That's what I was trying to say, so I'm sorry if it's confusing. But I went ahead and shaped those little tiny petals in the middle there to give it dimension, and I used hot glue to keep them popped up. Then I used Viva Pearls for to fill in what would have been the little holes there. Then this little thank you, it's so cute. That was from AliExpress as well. Oops, sorry about that. And it came in a group of a bunch of different phrases. Wait, this was a different one. I think it was about, goodness me, I don't know how many, but it was so inexpensive, and it came with a bunch of different phrases like laugh, smile, love. You get the idea there. And they're all 1/2 inch tall at the tallest. Shine, sweet, and I thought, wow, this is going to be really great for tags. So I'm happy I got those because it was so very inexpensive. And again, it was a group of them, so I used the thank you. And it doesn't cut all at once, or I mean, it's not attached. But I inked those in lavender chalk ink, and then this on the side was this die set here, Floral Flourishes, which is very nice. It was also $4.99. I would not pay more than that for any of them, because again, I can't justify purchasing full price dies when I have a Cricut. That would be wasteful. So But then I used, out of that, these two, and what I did was I used my embossing tools. They look like this, and they have two different size tips on each one, so they start out at like 2 millimeters and go up to 10. But I used that, and I used that on all of the flowers. And I don't know if you can tell, but they're very dimensional because I was able to emboss them, and the edges are all raised up, and the vines are defined on there because of that, because I use the fine tip on the back. They're all inked with also Distress inks. And yeah. Oh, and I distressed the edges with my Tim Holtz scissors. So that's my tag. I backed it up with craft paper to make it a little more sturdy. And I'm looking forward to making more. I think it's very shabby, and I tend to like trying out different techniques, so I'm happy with the result, and I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions, also I would be happy to respond, or if any of these products are new to you, let me know, and I'll be happy to share what I have found. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.